The high Arctic in summer. A land of cold winds, wild open tundra, and round-the-clock daylight. This video covers an expedition I did a few years ago to the Svalbard archipelago with a group of friends. It's not exactly a beach holiday, though it was, at times, surprisingly mild, and even sunny. We spent nearly 2 weeks in this frigid wilderness, rubbing shoulders with wild reindeer, Arctic foxes, and getting blasted by icy winds. It was, without a doubt, a unique and fascinating experience for all of us. Okay, everyone. Hi again. I just wanted to do a short introduction like I did on the last one, because this is another video from my archives from my overseas expeditions. And this one was unlike anything that I have ever done. I had been in mountains, deserts, tropical rainforests and stuff, but this is the first and so far the only time that I've been in a high polar environment in the high Arctic. The Svalbard archipelago is only about 1,000 miles from the North Pole, but it has a small amount of infrastructure which allows aircraft, so commercial flights with tourists, to come in. I mean, originally the settlements were built for mining because there's rich deposits of coal and a few other things up there. But now I think the main earner, at least in the main settlement of Longyearbyen, is tourism. So we were able to get quite an affordable flight in, which was pretty handy for access to the high Arctic. But it's not a walk in the park, because normally you go out on a guided tour, and we were setting out on our own, and there are no trekking routes, so it's all off trail, properly in the wilderness. The view on the approach from the aircraft was just incredible. Again, like nothing I've ever seen anywhere else. You've just got this vast ice sheet on the southern part of Spitsbergen Island with countless mountains peeking up through the ice, but otherwise most of them are completely buried underneath it. And as you get closer to central Spitsbergen, which is where we would go trekking, the ice sheet gives way because that place has its own microclimate, which is a little bit warmer than the rest, so you don't get so much permanent ice there. When we flew in, we arrived in Longyearbyen at around midnight. But midnight in that part of the world, and it was early July, so just past the summer solstice, means that the sun is fairly low in the sky, about the same height as it would be in the UK at its highest point in midwinter. And then the sun just gets higher and higher and does a big circle around the sky. So that was the first kind of weird thing about being at those latitudes. And when we got in, we spent one night at the only public campsite. And then the next day we set out into the village to stock up on a few supplies and to rent our rifle. This is polar bear country, so it's mandatory to carry a high-powered rifle outside of the village for protection. And you need to know how to use it. And luckily, Adam, who you will know if you've seen the rainforest videos that I did earlier this year, knew how to use it. Just like in the previous video, this wasn't really intended to go out publicly because I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. It was more for ourselves that we did this filming. The last point I would like to make is that you'll notice that we actually started out the trip with 5 people. But my old friend from uni, Tom, actually started getting quite ill at the very beginning of the trip. So we tried for a day and a half to see how he would do, but he had a bad case of diarrhea. And halfway through the second day, we decided that we would have to take him back to the road because it wasn't going away, where he could hitchhike back to the village and then carry on without him. So that's why there are 5 of us at the beginning, and then one member disappears, unfortunately for him. And the other thing is that because this was a 12-day trip, I figured I'll break it up into a 2-part video. So after those 2 parts, then you'll see me back with something fresh from Scotland. But for now, let's get on with it. This is nighttime at this latitude, and the sun is shining. It's a very strange experience. I have been above the Arctic Circle before, but only just above the Arctic Circle. So the sun did get very close to the horizon. You got this very much a sunset effect. That doesn't happen here. The sun is still relatively high up. Just dips down to the level it's at now and comes back up again. It just makes a big circle around the sky. Yeah.
This is the best spot so far, I think. It's lovely. Although I'm really itching to know what's beyond that gap over there.
We're going that way tomorrow. So.
No, I know.
I don't think we'll find out.
It looks like there'll be a kind of drop and amazing view.
Yeah, she had a wash.
I think the wind's coming from that direction.
A proper wash from this snow melt. Eva does the same thing.
But I felt very energised and I now feel really warm and nice and clean, which is something I haven't felt for a couple of days. Especially clean.
And I feel ill and disgusting.
I'd love to hear like the edge of a glacier breaking off.
Yeah.
Such a loud, like such a kind of resonant sound. So cool.
Yeah, it is. Polar bear watch, day 3. It's about 20 minutes to go before the end of my shift. I'm gonna go and wake up Miranda over there in that tent. We've been amazingly lucky with the weather the last couple of days. It's just crystal clear. This evening when we first arrived at this spot, being able to just sit around in the sun, and the sun was really warm in the shelter of that hut, was so comfy. So wind's picked up a bit and the wind is really, really icy. So I'm not sitting behind the hut anymore because the sun's moved around to a different side of it, which is not sheltered from the wind. But now it's about 20 to 1. Sun is as low as it's going to be, and we'll just keep on circling around and around the sky. When I finish my shift, I will go to sleep and wake up, and the sun's a little higher up over there.
Setting out on day 5? Are we on day 5 now? Just gonna cross the pass.
So now we are in What's this valley called? I don't know, we don't know how you pronounce it, but we are definitely in the valley. We all thought we'd dress up or something. I've gone as, what's his name, out of Predator. Feargus has gone for the scuba diving look. Miranda's gone for a random superhero costume. And Laura's copied me. So yeah, it's superhero day today, superhero Sunday. You might not be aware of, but it is an official thing over here. So we've done what we can with it. Yeah, by official I mean semi-official.
This is shallow here. I got you too.
Oh god. Oh, everything. Oh. Oh. Oh man. That is cold. As we sound to get used to it. I would feel safer like that.
Another pretty campsite.
Yes, beautiful. Amazing view. With friends as well. Guests? Well, we're guests.
I can't believe how warm it is. This is like a summer's evening.
It is so warm.
The best of a summer's evening in Cornwall.
Let's just hope the wind stays down.
Yeah. If you had an evening like this in Scotland, it would be midge hell. But it is perfectly, there's nothing here except the occasional mosquito, but we haven't seen any. But it looks like you don't really need to, because if you hang around long enough,
They just come to you.
it'll come to you.
You might be able to get well up to it.
Touch its velvety antlers.
Oh, I meant I touched this velvety antlers. I'm going to create a noise and then I'll cover myself in some of the fur. It's interesting adventures with your toilet roll holder.
Ah, that's what you're looking at.
Might take a lot of editing to get the good stuff, but
Should I avoid the toilet roll holder?
you can do. I don't think they say much though, Fergus. They're toilet roll holders.
This is Reindeer Valley. Everyone feeling okay? Happy? Windy? Very windy. Just got cold. This is the bay. Over there. And that is the last spot. Maybe there's a little break
Appreciate this work.
our lunch setup for today. How's everyone feeling?
Knackered.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's from behind, and that is our view for lunch.
just an hour ago, most of us were down to our thermal underwear.
Yeah.
As soon as the wind picks up.
And now we're all dressed like the food.
Arctic wind, isn't it?
Got some great examples of frost shattering here. The whole landscape's been shaped by frost shattering. You can see the mountains are very smooth, and that's because the stones or the rock sediments have all been shattered by freezing and thawing by frost, which breaks it up into very fine little pebbles, and these then form a kind of scree down the mountainside.
Half 2 in the morning. Just started my watch This is more what I expected of the Arctic. Howling winds, cold. We've had this all day. My head cold is feeling right now. Here we are, hardcore expeditioners. After like
20 hours.
yeah,
Okay, don't say that bit.
a few hours of moderate walking and 20 hours of exhaustion curing sleep. It's now
Oh my god.
20 past 3 in the afternoon and we're setting out for the day. Here we are at lunchtime, 6:30 p.m. Our sleeping rhythm has gotten completely up by this 24-hour daylight, and also losing sleep because someone has to be up throughout the night at any one time. Most of the time when we stop for lunch, we get some friendly reindeer coming, and now they're coming gradually towards us again.
But they really want to come over. Not quite ready.
They are.
My sock. My bog. Nice. Nice.
Tis cozy.
I think you're laying on a crispy poo, Adam.
Oh, well, I'm I am as well. Look. Hello.
If it's dried out. They are coming closer.
Oh, who's this new male? I know, what a stud.
Intruder.
Putting me off a bit. What an absolute idiot.
We have proper shelter today. Check it out. Oh, it's actually probably too dark in here for the GoPro. Yeah.
Happiness.
This is like perfection.
Can't wait for
Shelter.
this to be on and I can just put my feet right here and warm them up. Which is blissful. Amazing.
Yes.
I feel warm and
Clean?
warm and clean.
Yeah.
So clean.
I feel like one of those socks.
So warm and fuzzy inside.
I
Hang on,
feel
one of
not
those
like one of those
One of the ones
socks
hanging off there, I
because
feel
know
like
that
that.
they're dirty.
Why is
And
that?
I feel
Just-
amazingly clean.
Warm. Hanging out by the
I
fire.
was fully in my
Not
underwear.
giving a
I didn't have a top half on as well.
Oh my god, you just told the world
I
that.
do.
It was fine.
I was well, yeah. Wearing very little.
Yeah, me too.
How's that sound?
That's what you do when you're washing. It's not a big secret.
But when it's that cold, you have to say to people, I was naked out there, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have a wash, I was too busy getting
Well.
wood. Same.